recorded videos that are edited and all of that jazz. But today I thought I'd go live for no other reason than to talk about grief on a day like Father's Day. So, for those of you who have been following my channel for any good amount of time, no, not even that, maybe since its inception, which hasn't been that long, you all will know that I am a mom of three. Um, what you may or may not know is that I am a widowed mom of three. So, um, I was married to an amazing king. Okay. His name was Luther. And we got married when I was 19. And we were married until the time he passed away, which was a few weeks before I turned 30. So we were married for a little over 10 years. And we met in high school, but we were not high school sweethearts. And he was my best friend. I grew up in a marriage. I became a woman in a marriage. Um, he taught me how to be a wife, and I taught him how to be a husband, if that makes sense. And we had three beautiful children, three beautiful girls. And in 2010, in November, my life changed forever. In November 30th of 2010, my husband passed away. And it's something that has changed me to my core, changes the way I look at life, changes the way I look at death. It's not here today, gone tomorrow in my life. It's here today, gone in 7 minutes. Um, and so I don't have the same, oh, I have forever. Like, no, there's a sense of urgency about the things that I do concerning matters of the heart, because you never know how long you're going to have someone, right? I thought that it was forever with Luther. And for Luther, it was forever. It was. It was me who was going to be left behind after he was no longer here, to raise our beautiful girls. And I am so grateful just to be able to have them in my life. If not for them, I would not have made it after Luther left us. So clearly, life is different after you lose your other half, okay? Because you never saw Luther without Miana. You never saw Miana without Luther. And you never saw Luther and Miana without their girls, okay? And so we were a unit. It was what we knew. Um, Man, he was amazing. We sang, you know, he was a graphic design artist, graphic design, web design, multimedia. He was a school teacher. He was a pastor. Um, Man, that was my babe. Okay, so, but this is not about who we were when he was alive. This is about how life has been since he departed. And, going from two incomes to one, that's the one thing that we know. We know that's hard. Um, Going from having the emotional support of two parents to one is so drastic. Um, Single moms don't get enough credit, okay? Because, man, the emotional labor that it takes to have a family is something that they don't talk to you about when one is talking about planning a family, okay? And it takes an emotional toll on a person. So having the other parent there, the other adult there to bear some of the emotional weight, some of the emotional load, is something that we take for granted all too often in our societies. And so that is the biggest thing that I would say right now, um, I'm dealing with. Okay, so grief around holidays and special occasions. Someone asked me recently to start a series on grief and what it's like around specific days. And I've been pondering it and rolling it over in my mind. And I figured what better day to start than today. Okay. Today is Father's Day. And not only has my husband passed, but also my father. He's been gone since 2016. Right. And although my father and I did not have a great relationship, as long as a person is alive, you have an opportunity to create the relationship that you desire, right? But when the person is no longer alive, there are no more opportunities. Okay. So grief on Father's Day is tremendous. Number one, I have daughters that I love very much. And they have to grapple with not having a father on Father's Day, and that they don't deserve that, you know. And so there's an emotional toll that comes with that. So not having someone to make breakfast for, not having someone to buy a gift for, not having someone to wake up in the morning and all of that jazz, you know what I mean? Those things take a toll on you. And then not having a dad is like, you know, not having someone to do those things as well for, but in a different way. And so I find myself in a very awkward position. I am not one of those people who believes in wishing women a happy Father's Day. I'm not into that. Um, I'm not knocking anyone else who is into whatever they're into. I can only say that I am not into that. Okay. Okay. But it's just very different. That's all. It's very different. Um, I had to get to the point where I crossed over from being sad to being nostalgic. Okay. What you feel, the things that happen to you, you don't have any choice. But you do have a choice on how you respond to the things that happen to you. Now, there are a lot of things that kept me, what's going on, lady? There's a lot of things that kept me sad initially when he first passed away, right? Everything reminded me of him. He was my life. We also shared a birthday. So we shared all of the holidays and then we shared a birthday together. January 5th is both of our birthdays, but we're 4 years apart. So everything was a consistent reminder, you know, for a long time. Um, he passed away right after Thanksgiving, right before Christmas. So boom, I'm not really fucking with holidays from that time. Our birthday is right after Christmas, and it's January 5th. So and it's our birthday. So it's like I can't really enjoy my birthday because it's his birthday too, and I'm sad because now I'm remembering the fact that he's not here. You know, so that makes it a little more difficult. Uh, it just makes the holidays very interesting, very. Where I am now, though, is like, for instance, today, I'm very nostalgic, um, but I'm not sad. I'm nostalgic. I'm aware, but I'm not sad. So there's a difference. You understand in how I feel. And there's an evolution process because see, this year will make 10 years that Luther's been gone. 10 years. Okay. And that might seem like a long time. And in some cases it is a long time. But some days it feel like this just happened. Some days. Some days the way I remember him seems so real. But then some days I can't remember what his voice sounds like. And then that triggers another set of emotions because how can you not remember what his voice sounds like? Are you forgetting him? Did you love him if you're forgetting him? Like, how does this work? And then that just creates a whole nother layer of mental issues, you know, that one has to deal with in this particular stage. um it's not it does not get easier, but it gets more bearable. It gets more manageable, right? Your life does not have to be sadness all the time, um, because the person is not with you anymore. Um, it will be sad and you will have sad moments. And it's okay to process through those moments. It's okay to cry if you have to cry. Like, there's no time frame on grief. There's no timetable, no limit. There's none of that stuff on grief. Okay. So allow yourself to feel whatever you feel whenever you feel it. That is the best, most honest advice I can give anyone who's grieving. Allow yourself to feel whatever you feel whenever you're feeling it. Because if you don't, it's like you can't heal if you keep lying to yourself, telling yourself that nothing's wrong, or telling yourself that you're over it, or telling yourself you're processing through it when you're really not processing through it. All of those things matter. And keep in mind that the loudest voice in your head is going to win. So if you're lying to yourself, telling yourself you're over it and you're processing already, then you're not going to do the work that it takes to process. But you're going to keep lying to yourself. So you're going to keep feeling the feelings. You're going to keep feeling the hurt. You're going to keep not knowing how to properly and adequately deal with your grief. You're going to know you have a problem, but you're not doing nothing to solve it because you don't really want to do the work. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to be honest and just feel what you feel. It's so important. Luther and I, we didn't have a perfect marriage, but it was pretty damn good. You know what I mean? Um, I know for facts that he loved me. He loved me. He loved our babies and would do anything for me, for our babies. And the only thing he would pick over us is Christ himself. And that's exactly what happened. So I feel like, and listen, I'm not stating that shit matter of factly like I don't struggle. Of course I struggle. Of course it's a problem. Of course I grieve and I have bad days. Of course. However, those days become fewer and far between as you continue on in your process. They do not stop. I have my days. And then you go from having days to having moments in the day. So, for instance, I don't have whole days where I'm overtaken by grief and I can't really do anything. That is debilitating, all that good stuff. I don't have whole days anymore, right? But I used to have whole days. Now I have moments in the day, right? I might need a moment. I might need to get my shit together. I might need to take a step away. And that's fine. I'll compose myself, come right back, right? But if it's still days for you, then it's still days, and that's okay. Also, grieving my mother during Father's Day, because it goes hand in hand. You don't have nobody. Like, I feel like I don't got nobody, right? In that way. And that can overtake you, but that's a whole nother issue that don't have nothing to do with what's happening at the moment at hand. The moment at hand is Father's Day, right? And that's not to say don't deal with the things that you struggle with. Of course, deal with the things you struggle with. However, Put things in perspective. Be able to put the things in perspective that need to be in perspective. Um,
Right. And that's
oh, this is cool.
Don't deal with the things that you struggle with, of course.
Okay, so that's how that works. Okay, so this might be the second time I've ever gone live on YouTube. So I'm not exactly sure like how it gets down, right? So I'm learning. But I think I might, do it a little bit more simply because I would like to get used to it. It is my preferred mode of communication with you all. I prefer to interact with people. Some videos do have to be pre-recorded and edited. However, I prefer to interact with people. It's just my thing. But that doesn't really matter right now. That's all I really have to say about this. If you have any questions, anything that you feel like I didn't cover, anything that you would like for me to cover, if you have any things that you just, need for me to touch on, go ahead and drop a comment down below or slide a message into my inbox, and I'll be happy to take that into consideration and make a video about it. In any case, I'm Miana DK, and until next time, I love y'all. I swear I do.